We've done a lot of work with a range of different clients. We'll be announcing more battery recycling agreements. Again, that shores up the volumes that are coming in through the gate over time. And we know that will build, but it's important that we start to move clients who have been stockpiling batteries away from stockpiling, which is essentially an unsafe situation, into starting to process those batteries.
Good afternoon, I'm Jonathan Jackson, and joining me in the studio today is Lithium CEO and Managing Director Simon Lynch to discuss a 5-year exclusive recycling agreement with Zeeco Energy to manage lithium-ion battery recycling from Zeeco's network. Simon, good to see you.
Great to be with you, Jonathan.
So let's start with this agreement. It's a 5-year agreement. Can you talk us through who Zeeco Energy is, what they do, and talk me through the significance of this partnership?
Well, Zeeco are a major installer, manager of and maintainer of energy grid systems, particularly into residential and commercial clients. They've got a client base of over 40,000 people, and they're a supplier of batteries as well as solar panels into those client base. They work with battery providers like Samsung SDI, LG Energy Solutions, so all the big brands. They're a leading provider of those services in Australia, but principally through Victoria and sort of the Eastern Seaboard. So great that we've been able to work with Zeeco. We think this is a really important agreement. Obviously, 5-year exclusive agreement with them, really important agreement to have in place.
So what are the terms of the deal and how will it work?
Well, essentially, as Zeeco work with their clients to replace batteries over time, that will be the recycler of those batteries. They'll pay us under our contracts for processing those batteries, receiving those batteries, and processing them. And we'll continue to work with them in how we might be able to add additional services to the relationship over time. They're very much an organisation that's focused on its ESG credentials, and we think there's great alignment between the two organisations. They obviously see confidence in us to enter into a 5-year agreement with options to extend is, I think, testament to how they see Livium and in particular our recycling business, EnviroStream, in our capacity and capabilities.
As we talk through this, I mean, there's always mention of the circular economy. Can you talk me through that, what that means for community in general and what that means for Livium as well?
Yeah, look, I think there's a greater emphasis, and there has been growing talk of how do we create circularity, how do we make sure that products are reused or repurposed or recycled, to ensure that we stop pulling out virgin materials out of the ground. I think when it comes to batteries, the chemicals and the battery chemicals inside of the battery are going to be an important part of the future supply of battery materials. I think if I look at some forecasts out of Benchmark, Intelligence, and some other areas, they believe that recycled materials from batteries will constitute at least sort of 15 to 20% of the supply of battery materials in a decade plus time. So it's really going to be an important part of making sure that we can manage the energy transition that people aspire for, is that the recycled materials are an important part of the supply for new batteries to be built into the future. So EnviroStream is a big part of that. We think that while we're a nascent business, if you like, and still scaling, it's early days, but really important part of building that capability in Australia over the years to come.
And finally, Simon, I mean, obviously, this deal feeds into that circular economy element to the business, but it's a good deal too at 5 years. But where do you go from here? A, with Zeeco, and B, just overall?
Look, with Zeeco, they've already got some batteries for us to start recycling, so that's always good. It's not one of those deals where you go, okay, well, we're going to wait for a year before we start to see the first battery. So we'll get on and start supporting them and their clients. But in terms of our battery recycling business, I think we've done a lot of work with a range of different clients. We'll be announcing more battery recycling agreements. Again, that shores up the volumes that are coming in through the gate over time. And we know that will build, but it's important that we start to move clients who have been stockpiling batteries away from stockpiling, which is essentially an unsafe situation, into starting to process those batteries. So we'll have more to say about that in the weeks ahead. I think we'll also have more to say about Western Australia and a scale-up opportunity and expansion opportunity into Western Australia in the weeks ahead. And we're looking forward to being able to talk to you and our investor community about that.
I don't think there's been a dull moment over the last 12 or so months. Simon, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Jonathan. Really appreciate it.